You can feel it, right? That buzz in the air whenever a new piece of the Doctor Who universe is about to drop. It's like Christmas morning for sci-fi fans, and this latest bit of news is the gift that keeps on giving. We've got a brand new spin-off on the horizon, and from the sounds of it, it's not just another adventure. It's an adventure with heart, with a powerful message, and with a familiar face leading the charge. We're talking about the war between the land and the sea, a 5-part series that's set to dive deep into a conflict that has been brewing in the show's lore for ages, and leading the charge, none other than the brilliant Russell Tovey. Tovey, who you might remember as the lovable and kind-hearted George Sands from Being Human, is taking on a whole new challenge. He's stepping into the shoes of a character named Barclay, a regular guy who finds himself in an anything-but-regular situation. He's not a Time Lord, not a companion with a pre-existing connection to the Doctor or a super spy. He's just a guy who books taxes, but as Tovey reveals, he's about to become a pivotal figure in a world-changing event. A story that hits close to home. This is what makes this series so compelling. It's not just another story about good versus evil. It's a story about us. It's about the very real and present issues we face every single day. At the Edinburgh TV Festival, Tovey opened up about the core of the show's plot, and what he said is a game changer. He confirmed that a major plot element of the show is the world's changing climate. It's set in our world, Tovey shared. Climate change is a huge factor. Again, it needs to be factored more into art, so we really get an understanding of it. How powerful is that? When you think about the fantastical world of Doctor Who, you don't always expect it to tackle such a tangible, global issue head-on. But this is exactly what makes the series so enduring. It has always found a way to weave real-world anxieties and social commentaries into its sci-fi framework, making its stories feel relevant and urgent. By centering the conflict around a real-world issue, the war between the land and the sea promises to be more than just entertainment. It's a call to action, a piece of art that makes us think. Tovey's character, Barclay, embodies this perfectly. He's a guy just like you or me. He's lived a quiet life, doing his job, probably dreaming of something more, but never quite believing it would happen. Then, as Tovey puts it, by some series of events, he ends up becoming a very important figure in the world, and having to understand that role and what that entails. It's the classic hero's journey, but with a twist. It's not a hero born of a prophecy or a destiny. It's a hero who is thrust into the role, a hero who has to learn how to save the planet simply because no one else is going to. This narrative of the everyman finding his purpose is what makes it so relatable and inspiring. Tovey loves this aspect of his character, saying, "I love that, hopefully, it's inspiring and people feel like it's not over, that things can shift any moment." That's a message we all need to hear. Sometimes life can feel like a pre-written script, and we're just playing our parts. But this show reminds us that at any moment, things can shift. We can find our purpose. We can become the change we want to see in the world, even if we're just a person who books taxes. A familiar universe, a new conflict. And what is this grand conflict? It's a clash between humanity and some of the most iconic creatures from the Doctor Who lore, the Sea Devils. These reptilian humanoids have a long and storied history with the Doctor, and their return promises to be a dramatic one. They're not just monsters of the week. They're an ancient civilization with a rightful claim to the planet, and their return is a direct response to humanity's actions. Tovey isn't alone in this journey. The cast is a veritable who's who of incredible talent. Guvu Himbatha role will be starring alongside Tovey, playing a sea devil named Salt, which hints at a more complex and nuanced portrayal of these classic villains. And for fans of the wider Doctor Who universe, there are some very familiar faces returning. Gemma Redgrave will be reprising her role as the formidable Kate Stewart, head of unit. Alexander Devrient is back as Colonel Ibrahim, and Ruth Madeley returns as Shirley Bingham, bringing the spin-off even closer to the main series narrative. This interconnectedness is what makes the Doctor Who universe feel so real and lived in. The magic is happening. With all this talent and a deeply meaningful plot, it's no surprise that the showrunner Russell T Davies is brimming with pride. Speaking on the Pilot TV podcast, he said, "I'm immensely proud of it. I think it's absolutely brilliant." He explained that sometimes a show just clicks. You work on the effects, the music, the grading,